Hey guys, it's Miss Carla. So today we are moving on in the world of our writing explanation essay. So on the 28th, I asked you guys to begin filling out this assignment that's in front of you. So I showed you how to break down the question, how to tap it out. So we figured out what's the topic we're writing about, who's your audience. And by the way, I have a lot of community members that are really excited to read your papers, so that's getting exciting. Your purpose for this paper is to explain, and you were to plan your thoughts in a what, why, T chart. So this was what you were supposed to fill out. I created my own example, which I'll have linked for you on the assignment today so that you can look at an example. So here's mine. I chose, and it was a hard choice, so I know I'm asking you guys a really hard question. But I thought that first and foremost, equality of all races, genders, and religious beliefs would be the first human right that I think would help equalize humanity. This would give everyone a voice and no one would be segregated or looked down upon in the society. And this would help to empower women and lower classes in developing countries to not be excluded. And then the next one I thought about was the fact that there is a lot of slavery and indentured servitude, which is just one step up from slavery. It's where somebody makes you work for them for very little money and you can never get out of debt from them. So I thought that would be the second human right, that would not be allowed. And this would keep children and others from being used as slaves and protect all human life as important. The third one I chose was that everybody has the right to vote at 18. And by everyone, I mean no matter your gender, your race, your religious belief, or anything. If everyone has the right to vote on their laws and government figures, there would be a lot less negative influences and corruption of the government, and people will vote in their best interest, and this would help equalize humanity. The fourth one I chose was everyone gets a free education. I think education helps people to get higher paying jobs, and it would help in the need for slavery or having only a few people in the society from having all the high-paying jobs. Typically in developing countries, that's taken up by the government and their families, as we watched in the video way back, maybe like 5 weeks ago. So offering education to everyone equalizes the playing field and would also bring crime down and provide many jobs within the education sector. Finally, I thought that if everyone gets world-class health care through their tax revenue that they pay out, that it would help everyone have access and that would keep everyone from getting severely ill, hopefully, and it would also create great paying jobs within the healthcare sector. I think poverty can come about from just people being sick all the time. If you think about developing countries, there's a lot of starvation and there's a lot of illness that could easily be avoided if people were educated and had access to better health care. All right, so those are my 5. So now you're thinking, okay, what do I do next, right? So the next thing we have to do is I want to talk to you about the layout of a paragraph, which is the same as an essay. And then we're going to be writing our claim today. So let's start off with a little picture. This is a hamburger, and if you know me, you know that I don't eat hamburgers. I eat veggie burgers, but you guys like burgers, so I picked a real burger. So a paragraph in an essay is a lot like this hamburger. The introduction paragraph of an essay is like the top bun. It's really important, and in the introduction paragraph of an essay, you're going to be stating what the whole paper is about. Then in the middle of the hamburger is all of your body paragraphs. So your onions, pickles, tomatoes, lettuce, cheese, the hamburger itself, all of the middle stuff is your body. Okay, all that yummy stuff in the middle. And that's where you're going to go into detail about each of the human rights that you picked and why you think those would equalize. And then the bottom bun is your conclusion. Just like the introduction, it's going to be holding this whole paper together because your conclusion is going to restate your thoughts. And what I love to do, and I would really like for you guys as a GT class to do, is your conclusion is also going to be a place for you to make a personal connection or a global connection. All right. So when we get closer to the conclusion, I'll explain more about that. Today, we're just going to be focusing on this top bun because we need to think about what's our first sentence of the paper going to be. And that's your claim. It's also called a thesis or your introduction sentence of your introduction paragraph. A paragraph is usually about 5 to 7 sentences long, and an essay can be anywhere from 5 or more paragraphs long. I've written essays in college that were 30 pages long, right? So they can go on and on and on. Some people have written 200-page essays, research papers or white papers. But for us, our goal is going to be writing 5 to 7 paragraphs. And it all starts with a good layout. So the very first thing we're going to do is write our claim or our thesis. Okay, so if I go back to my example, I have 5 human rights that I want to write about in my paper. My claim needs to answer the question, what is this whole paper going to be about? That's what people want to know when they read that first sentence. They want to know, what are you talking about in this paper? So your assignment sheet today is pretty blank. I just want you to write a claim here, and here's mine. Here's how I would start. So my claim has to start with, I'm going to go back to the question I'm being asked. What are the top 5 human rights that would equalize humanity? So instead of that being a question, I'm going to turn it into a statement, all right? And I'm going to say, the top 5 human rights that would equalize humanity are, and then I'm going to list my 5 human rights. That's all I have to do to write this claim because that's what I'm going to be explaining in my paper. So I'll start with the top 5 human rights. The top 5 human rights that could equalize humanity. Are, and I'm going to kind of condense what I wrote over here. I'm just going to go with equality, comma, free from slavery, comma, the right to vote for everyone, free education, and access to world-class healthcare. Okay, so it's pretty simple. My claim, again, is going to be the first sentence of my first paragraph of my essay. And that first paragraph is your introduction. We call this first sentence the claim, and we just take it right from our plan by turning the prompt into a statement and then listing out the 5 human rights that we chose. Okay, so again, I went back to the question and I turned this question into a statement, and I took from my plan the top 5 human rights. You don't have to write any more than that today. I'm just wanting you to nail down your claim, and then from there we will take another step and finish our introduction paragraph tomorrow. All right, so reach out to me if you have questions. I hope this was helpful. I can't wait to see your claims. You guys have a great day. Thank you. Bye.